There's a lot of videos going viral of people talking about how hard it is for them to survive. Hey, that how they don't feel like they have a purpose. They don't have any meaning for what they're doing, going to work, because they're just basically paying their bills. They're not getting ahead. They're working hard, but they're not getting anywhere. That song that Richmond, north of Richmond, why does it resonate? Why does it resonate with people so much? Why is it blowing up? Working all day. Selling my soul. Working all day. Overtime hours for bullshit pay. Why does that resonate with people? Because it's true, it's how we feel. They continue to devalue our dollar. They keep printing out more money. And they keep on giving our money to other people. Look at what they did in Maui. Biden's sitting here on vacation for 2 days. The wildfires happened in Maui. 2 days later, he comes out and he's actually gonna fucking do something. Because he's on vacation. Says he's gonna give him $700. I don't know how that's gonna help anybody. Giving people $700. Probably it'd be cool to give them a place to stay. To try to help rebuild their life. I don't know how. I don't know if their insurance isn't covering them or what, but whatever they do with people and hurricanes and stuff like that and natural disasters. And with that whole thing it is kind of suspicious. And I don't believe all these conspiracy theories, but it is suspicious. It's kind of coincidental where you have something like that burns down all the peasants' properties, and then here comes all the rich people trying to buy it all the land for cheap. It's kind of funny, huh? Kind of weird. Not funny, but weird. I think that people are upset because it's one thing if nobody's not doing well. Rich people are suffering too, but these people are making record profits. When you see rich people doing extremely well, and the only way they can do well is on our backs. Now, I'm not gonna sit here. I am not a communist at all, dude. I'm not. But I'm not gonna sit here and defend these greedy rich people who don't take care of the people who fucking make them rich. I'm not gonna do that. I believe in a capitalist system that is corporate free. I think corporations are the fucking problem. There should be no fucking there should be a limit to how many people a company can have. It shouldn't be huge. Because they have so much power. They have too much power, and it turns into communism. It's just a form of communism. Centralized power, that's all it is. And people are starting to feel it because they're seeing they're working like they were, but they're having to cut back. And for people to say you work 40 hours a week and you're lazy, man, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. Whoever says you're lazy because you only work 40 fucking hours is a fucking idiot. Try to raise a fucking family. You know how much work it is to raise a family? I'm sorry. Like, a 40-hour work week should be able to take care of a fucking family. It should. And since it's not happening, we got some problems. We got to make some changes. The mom should be able to stay home and take care of the fucking kids. You know, these politicians making 6 fucking figures, almost $200,000 a year, they should all make minimum wage. Every federal employee should make minimum wage, $7.75 an hour. And I know the argument against minimum wage increase because it hurts small business. But that thing, okay, we've had all this inflation and federal minimum wage hasn't even gone up for like 10 years plus. I don't know who could survive on $7.75 anywhere. Here in America, there's no possible way. Everything is becoming communist, like centralized, and they're killing the small businesses anyway. You should be able to survive off of a minimum wage job. Our citizens, since we're so wealthy, since our country's so wealthy, we should be set up to, if you work 40 hours a week, you should be able to support a family. Not saying that you go on vacations everywhere. Like, you should be able to have a stay-at-home mom taking care of your family. We should be promoting the nuclear family, and we're not. We're promoting individualistic ideas. We're promoting feminism, destruction of the family. And it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable at all. You know, like, for me, it's really weird how I pretty much look the same as I did 10 years ago. I might be in my 40s, but I still look basically the same. I'm not short. And women don't even look at me. They won't even look at me in the eyes. They don't want anything. I don't act creepy when I pass them. It's just weird. It's weird. And that's why I think that most women just don't like us. And it's multiple factors. I think the reason why the women don't like men is because there's so many simps that make us look bad. They have so much validation on the internet. And I've said this 100 times. But there also is, I think it's because there's so many men. And it makes me wonder if war, depleting the population of men in the past is a way to up the value of men, because there's more scarcity of men. I don't think a society can exist. The only reason why our society is not being more violent, like the younger men, the reason why they're not being violent is because they have pornography and they have drugs. They have video games. That's why. That's why they're basically neutered. But if they didn't have that shit, they would be fucking being violent as hell. All that testosterone, all that rage. Angry. But it is getting hard. And I've said this, but like, you have to be able to adapt. The standard of living is going to drop. And if you're poor, And if you're a low status person like me, chances are you're never gonna be rich. You can do it, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard, and it's gonna be rare. Like this guy, Oliver Anthony, who made that song, "Rich Man Up North of Richmond." Like, that's a rare thing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope, like, I see a ton of independent artists start coming on the scene, and people start propping them up, and really eating into that corporate music bullshit, taking eyes off of it, taking ears off of it. I hope I obviously want my stuff to be heard. I obviously want my voice to be heard. And it's frustrating that, being suppressed, but, there are a lot of people who are highly talented, they're more creative than me, and they deserve it more than me. But it's going to be, I think it's going to get harder and harder to either get rich or get famous. High status means money comes, and more opportunities. That's the way I looked at it. It wasn't really the money that drove me. It's the opportunities, the different opportunities that being high status would give me, because I've pretty much, this is what it seems like. I'm supposed to be grateful for scraps, and my scraps are what people would love to have 100 years ago. But guess what? Them or somebody living in a hut right now, if they live my life, they would think the same thing eventually. They would be conditioned. I am modest. I am humble. I am thankful for what I have. I'm thankful for the water I drink, the clean water I drink, being able to take a shower every day. I am thankful to have a job, to be able to pay my bills. But at the same time, I can still have a grievance knowing that these companies have been conditioned to expect record profits every fucking year, every quarter, and they will do whatever it takes to continue that. Whether that's taken away from the people who the productive people who actually are productive in their company and make them rich. Dude, I am all for companies doing well. I want my company to do well. I like all American companies who aren't stupid and try to force diversity based off of the way somebody looks instead of merit. I'm all for companies doing well except for them. I want to see companies be about business and not ESG or whatever the fuck that shit is. How about you put your turning signal on, guy? But I want to see America do well. I don't want to boycott. Stop hating on people like me. And that's the problem. The hate on us. It's foreign driven. It's meant to try to demoralize us and separate us. That's what it is. All this bullshit. I think China owns a lot of Hollywood. They want us separated. They want us demoralized. I have bad days, I have good days. It's hard, man. It's hard to keep it together. You know, I don't want to sit here and complain. I don't like to sit here and complain. It sounds so stupid. Like yesterday I was complaining about, well, you know, it's like I had everything done, and you know, this new game, which I never get the new games when it first comes out. And I was like, I set everything up, so I got the whole day to play it, and it's supposed to be out, and then it finally comes out right before I go to bed. Then it comes out, and at that point, I don't even really want to play it. It's still stupid to complain about, but that's like a little. I don't get to go to fucking Vegas and party it up. I don't get to go on yachts, and I'm fine with that. I mean, but it seems like life is against me constantly. That's and in that. But I do appreciate what I have. I know I have it good, even though I live with my son in a 1-bedroom apartment, and I barely have any furniture. And my mattress is on the floor because I don't want to turn on the AC. I appreciate what I have. I appreciate I get to have food to eat. I appreciate that, man. Even if it's not good food. That's good for me. I appreciate it. But it doesn't mean that I can't be upset about the way things are going. And it doesn't mean people can't be upset about the way things are going in their lives. When you're working as hard as you've been working, and you see things taken away from you because the value of your dollar is being eradicated, it's hard, man. It's hard. The way things are set up, it just pisses me off. Like, long term, like, we shouldn't have changing so quickly, we shouldn't have long-term contracts. I shouldn't have to, like, I'm sorry, I know this sounds weird, but I shouldn't have to sign a fucking lease for a year for an apartment. I shouldn't have to sign a fucking 3-year lease for a car. I shouldn't have to sign a 2-year lease for a phone or whatever, 2-year contract. Things are changing so fucking fast, man. And the Fed's trying to get people to lose their jobs. People are making too much. Yeah, rich people are making too much, but we're just like, we're having our standard of living drop. Because they keep on printing out money. And people are getting pissed. Because it comes to the point, it's like, why am I fucking doing this? Because we've lost that sense of community. Like I said yesterday, what's the fucking point of this? What's the point of me going to work? I'm not getting anywhere. In fact, I'm losing. Every day I'm losing. That's how I feel. That's how Americans feel. Every day we're fucking losing. Dude, I've been feeling like that since I've been feeling like I've been losing since Trump won. That's the last time I really feel like I've been winning. I feel like I've been losing like non-stop. And I've realized, like, I have a lot more knowledge, and I'm like on the pulse and the cutting edge of what's happening and understanding somewhat God, I'm not an expert at anything I talk about. And some things I might get wrong. I might get a lot of things wrong. But at least I have a basic general understanding compared to the average person. I'm not putting them down either, because you know what? You know how much time it takes to work a regular job and worry about your family. Like, not worry, but like try to make sure your family is good, taken care. It's so stressful, man. People don't have the time to sit here and look at politics all the time, man. They really don't. So I don't blame like the average person for not being like having all the knowledge I have. You know, that's what I see with these YouTubers, is they hate on normal people. But I think a lot of them don't even fucking have kids, so they don't even know how it is to have a fucking family. It is taxing. It is energy draining having a family. And you sacrifice a lot. So it is hard, man. It is hard out here. It is gonna get harder. And you're gonna see the rich get richer, because if you're already in that spot and you have the assets, not just dollar bills in some bank account, but you got us assets, you're good. You're good. But if you ain't got shit, you're pretty much fucked. We're pretty much all fucked. And it's gonna get harder and harder, and you're gonna see your standard of living drop, and you're going to have to choose Netflix, all these subscriptions I have, bye-bye, because food costs too much, because gas costs too much. And this is why I say, make sure your health is good, make sure your mobility is good. Because since we're gonna probably be working till we're dead, you gotta make sure that your body can do work, can do manual labor. If you're obese and you can barely move, you're fucked. You might get euthanized in the future. I know that sounds radical, and I'm not advocating for that, but I'm saying that that's gonna be normalized. People who are parasites in the future might get euthanized by the government, and people will want that to happen. If you're a parasite, you need to try to stop being one. It's going to be very important going into the future, because things are going to get rough. I'm white-pilled. I think that when we come out of this bullshit, I think it's going to be great. I think the people who make it, they're going to have a great life. I think things are going to become more traditional. I think the nuclear family is going to make a massive comeback in the future. But we have to go through pain and suffering for that to happen. That's the only way change can happen. Pain and suffering. I don't think that this is the end times. I could be wrong. I don't know. Jesus can come right down right now. I just don't think it's the end times. I think that a lot of churches use that. And I'm wondering if that should even be in the Bible anyway. But yeah, things are going to continue to get harder. It's going to get harder and harder for people. This is not a kid-friendly environment. conservatives tell us to have kids. It's not a kid-friendly environment. It's just not. It's not. The best thing for us to do at this point is to separate ourselves from the fucking federal government as much as possible and balkanize. I'm sorry, like that's not good, man. It's not good. But I don't see us any unification. I see what I think that China already owns California. Foreign companies or foreign entities own New York and these blue places. They're already owned by foreign. They might not technically, but culturally they are. They're not America no more. They don't stand for America. They're not for freedom of speech. They're not for the Second Amendment. They're not for the Constitution. They're already sold out. So it's gonna get harder, man. And people are gonna get more and more angry, and you're gonna see people smash and grab more and more. And that's gonna be bad for society. It's not gonna be all areas, but some areas in America are gonna get really, really bad.